What if I told you that the disasters you see on the evening news, the conflicts you read about and the migrations you barely notice are all connected by an invisible thread? A force so powerful it can topple governments, turn brother against brother, and redraw the very maps of our world. This is the story of climate change, but not as you know it. They call it the threat multiplier. But what they don't tell you is how deep this threat runs. Imagine a world where every storm, every drought, every flood is not just a natural disaster, but a deliberate act of destabilization. A tool of chaos wielded by those who understand its true power. From the drought-stricken fields of Syria to the submerged streets of Miami, climate change is the silent aggressor, sowing discord and despair. Yet this is only the beginning. The connection is clear, yet so many choose to ignore it. Resources, water, land, food are vanishing, and with them, the last threads of peace. The battles we see today are just a preview of what's to come. Remember Darfur? They called it the first climate war. But was it really just the first? And what of the millions forced to flee their homes, their lands swallowed by the rising seas or turned to dust? Climate refugees? Or are they the canaries in the coal mine, warning us of a future we refuse to acknowledge? Syria, a land once fertile, now barren. The drought of 2006 to 2010, a mere coincidence or the spark that ignited a civil war? And what of Darfur? Some dismissed it as ethnic conflict, but beneath the surface it was a war over dwindling resources, a war driven by climate's relentless march. Small islands, forgotten by the world, are sinking, but the waves that swallow them today may soon crash on the shores of nations far more powerful. Will they be ready, or will they too be swept away? Tone dripping with skepticism. The world's leaders gather, they talk, they make grand promises. The Paris Agreement, they said, would save us. But behind the smiles and handshakes, what has really changed? The emissions continue, the temperatures rise, and the conflicts grow ever closer. Renewable energy, the great hope. But is it truly the savior they claim, or just another battleground? A new war over minerals, over land, over the very air we breathe. Tone becomes almost prophetic. Look to the future. A world where borders are meaningless, where the fight for survival is all that remains. The wars of tomorrow will not be fought over ideology, but over water, over food, over the very right to exist. Peace? That will be a luxury for the few. For the rest, only struggle remains, unless we confront this force head-on before it's too late. Final tone, resolute but tinged with urgency. We stand at the precipice. The choices we make today will echo through history. Will we heed the warnings, or will we let the unseen hand of climate change pull us into a darkness from which there is no return? Act now or face the consequences. The clock is ticking. This is not a prophecy, it's a warning.